56 views on this stupid video.
You sure about that?
Not even a full day.
Not even a full day. That's pretty cool. TikTok is weird. Weird place.
TikTok's a very weird place. ¿Cómo está? Me llamo Héctor. Ahora Terra Talks in Spanish.
Terra Talk. Yeah, Terra Talks in Spanish now. Oh, let me just pour the rest of this fucking thing.
It's like the last reaction video. You just pour the fucking wine. You're like, let me tell you something.
This fucking movie
That idea for thick flavored ice cream is gonna hit.
It
I'm
will.
like, what?
So this is hey, what's going on? I'm Will,
I'm Hector.
and we're talking terror today. We're gonna give you our deep dive discussion about Evil Dead Rise.
And we're gonna fuck this shit up.
It's the new Evil Dead movie in the series of Evil Dead films, directed by
Yes.
Lee Cronin. Your boy. Isn't
Yeah,
he your
apparently,
friend?
yeah.
He's your friend in real life, no?
I guess so.
I don't even know what he looks like. I know
Me
he's
neither.
Irish. But
Is he Irish?
He's Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's our one viewer.
Yeah. You know that, and actually everybody in the movie is like Australian.
Yeah, they all have accents.
I think the
they do bad American accents in this movie.
the guy who did the film score too, he's Irish too.
Is he?
Yeah.
They're probably boys, like you.
Yeah, probably.
He's probably our one viewer. Imagine Lee Cronin. I wonder
He's
what my
like,
boys think.
I wonder what they think of this movie.
Yeah, we didn't like it.
Fucking assholes. Yeah, we
Spoiler
didn't
alert.
like-
This is going to be spoiler filled. So if you didn't see our reaction video, you can know that we weren't really fond of this movie, but we're going to go into some depth of piece by piece, a little deep dive into this movie and just say what our problems were with it, what we liked about it, what we didn't like. Starting off with the beginning, the opening scene. Right?
Yeah.
So the opening scene of Evil Dead Rise starts off right with a bang. In a very familiar setting. You're in a cabin in the woods with three friends, and the deadite infection has already happened, and one of the characters is a deadite.
Yes.
Strong opening scene.
It was a great opening scene.
Strong.
Because you know what I liked about it? It's
Yeah.
like, you remember that whole...
The
that,
POV scene with the drone.
And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then it was a drone. I was like, okay. But still.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of fucking drone that is. That sounds like that. I want that,
It was
though.
cool. It's like this drone coming in, but it's a familiar scene because if you ever watch the other Evil Dead movies, it's usually the spirit that's running through the woods.
Yeah,
and going
it's about to
over
go
things.
into somebody.
It's going into somebody. But this one was basically a drone mimicking that.
Yeah.
And it plays with your expectations. But as we move into that scene, we notice that one of the friends is already infected in the house. Like, oh, I gave her some Valium, or he gave her some drugs.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
though. It kind of brings back to like the one before this, right? They're back at this cabin.
Yeah.
See, I remember I was looking at the cabin because you remember the clock scene?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, shit, is that the same clock from the original Evil Dead? Because it looked like it. It looked like they were in that same cabin.
Yeah, but the cabin was different from the outside. It was a
Yeah,
cool
well, and it
design.
was actually like cleaner, too.
Yeah, cleaner. Yeah,
it was actually like
so,
someone lived there.
So one of the people are infected, and they just wreak havoc. Like there's a scene where
she gets
scalped, ripped. She has these weird looking ponytails, like they're like extra long ponytails for no reason, and then rips it right off. And then they're reading up from this book. What was the name of that book?
Oh man, I
so good.
You know what's funny when that book scene that she was reading, I was like, I'm gonna buy this book because I want to.
Sound good. Yeah.
Well, it's some dark shit in
Yeah.
that book.
Yeah.
She was reading. Well, she was reading a passage from it.
Yeah.
And it was a very creepy passage.
It was a creepy passage. Yeah.
And then she's like, stop, and then that's
she's
when,
just yelling it, and the sound design is booming. It's hitting you right in the head.
Yeah.
Like the sound design is really, really good. It's really oppressive, right? It's like hitting you like.
See, that's one positive thing I would say about this
Overbearing.
movie is the sound design is intense.
Intense.
Like you feel it in your chest.
You do.
You know, and I like
you feel
that.
it in your seat. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
felt like I was like the
Well,
seat
we
was
also
rumbling.
were in Dolby, you know.
Because we're
family.
bougie. We were in Dolby Digital. $20.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
But
that sound design
Yeah, it was great.
was crazy, and the scene is violent. Like she rips the scalp off.
yeah.
Drones come directly to her
Now,
face.
if we were in that situation,
Yeah.
would you think she'll scalp us?
No, because we don't have any hair.
She'd be like, fuck.
She'd
You know,
grab
like,
something though. She might scalp something else.
Oh,
make her own
is
ice
that
cream.
A scalp?
She'd rip something off of us for sure. And I think I would
That's
rather
gonna be the
scalped.
thumbnail for this. It's like a Briar's actually
Yeah.
dick flavor.
I'd rather be scalped than what she could potentially rip off of me.
Or your nipples too.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Purple nipples.
No. And then it starts off at a really strong scene. Like she, her face gets ripped off by the drone, right? The
Yeah, she
deadite.
takes the drone and just
rips
messes
her own
up
face, dives into the water, right?
Guy dives.
Dives after her, kills the boyfriend or whoever.
Jaws
it is.
style.
Jaws style. Yeah, very Jaws reminiscent of Jaws.
And just like
And then she rises out of the water and then behind her it says Evil Dead Rise in the back.
Hence, Evil Dead Rise.
Well,
huh?
I saw that. Yeah, Evil Dead Rise. She's actually right. When I
That's
saw
the
the
whole
opening scene,
reading for the whole title of the movie. Oh, she rose in the
yeah,
beginning.
she rose.
Remember?
Yeah, I thought like Evil Dead High Rise, right? Then Evil Dead Rise, like it's a high rise building they're in later on. But I thought that opening scene when I watched it, I was like, oh, yo, we're in for something good. Like, unfortunately, that's the highlight of the film for me. Like after that, it all goes downhill for me.
Yeah, because you know what I don't like? It's like, hey,
What don't you like?
is that not to jump from the beginning to end?
Don't jump at the end.
But it's just like, what is this all about?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you just jump right
What's
to
the
the apartment
point, right?
scene.
Yeah, because then at that scene it says one day earlier, right?
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, how does this connect to
So
our
that
movie?
bothered me because
Yeah.
the whole
'Cause
time
you're thinking
I'm-
about it the whole time.
The
right?
whole time I'm like, all right, when does she come here?
Right.
That's when
right.
I kept thinking, how does she?
How
come?
does it work?
And I'm like, well, a Deadeye wouldn't drive from all the way over there through LA traffic, mind you.
oh,
right?
that Deadeye would be pissed in LA
She'd be
traffic.
Like, you know,
I'll
just
swallow
stuck in
your
traffic.
soul. Be like, yeah, okay, buddy.
I'll swallow your soul. Fuck you,
Yeah.
lady. You
I'll
know,
swallow
like-
your soul, bitch.
And she's just like, fuck.
She's like, oh, I
She
just
gets pulled
didn't
over by
work.
the cops. She's like, oh no, not these LAPD
Yeah.
cops.
She starts getting beat by the cops. This is
Can you
racism.
It's because I'm a Deadeye,
Because
isn't
I'm a
it?
Jedi. Shut up, bitch. They start stomping her
Wait,
out.
are you detaining me? Well, you have to tell me my rights. Why am
Yeah.
I being detained?
Why am I being detained? Because I'm a Jedi? Because I'm from hell? Is that the reason? But you see one day earlier,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, how's this going to tie into our main story? And it doesn't.
And then you're at a concert.
Yeah, you're at a
And
concert
then I was just like, what the fuck
with our
just happened?
with our character,
Yeah.
one of our
She
characters.
kind of looks like Jane Levy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Kind
but
of.
we meet our titular character, and she's basically finds out that she's pregnant, right? And for whatever reason, I don't even know what the reason was. She meets up with her. With
not
her
to cut you up, but
family.
like, can I just tell you, if you go to a bathroom and the door's locked, who the fuck is the ones that are knocking on that
it's
shit?
such a trope.
It's happened to me.
It's such a trope. Why do they always do that?
I
in these
don't know.
movies?
Like, there's been times I gotta poop.
Where'd
what
you
do
go?
you want me to do?
Dunkin' Donuts?
No. Oh, you want to hear the true story? I was at a train station,
Oh, you were okay.
and it was a very
pooped
packed
at-
train station.
You
I
dropped
had
your number
to go.
2 at a train
I
station.
had to go. And this guy, it's locked. Obviously,
Yeah.
fucking starts kicking on it. Come on, bro, hurry the fuck up.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, okay, let me just push as hard as I can. Like this
I
lady.
guess it really does happen in real life then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think this is just a movie trope. They're like
No,
banging on the
has
door,
it-
like,
that
get
never
out,
happened to
buddy.
you? Happens to
No,
you?
never. One time I was in a Stop and Shop, and this guy was
Were
knocking
you
on the door.
pooping?
Yeah, I was. And the guy was like, please, I have to go.
Wait, you're pooping at Stop and Shop?
Yeah, Stop and Shop.
So
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
cleaner.
oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, I left the cart outside, and then the guy's knocking on the door. He's like, please. He had like an accent. He's like, please let me in. I need to
You're
go.
just sitting down like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm wreaking havoc. Like it was after brunch too, because I was like, I had to stop and get some stuff, and it was just a brunch shit. So it's like really bad. And he's like, please, I really have to go, sir. And then I hear him shitting, and I'm like, there's only one stall here.
Oh my
And
god.
I hear him going, right? And then I come out like a little bit later, and it's just a big pile of shit
In the sink?
in the urinal.
Oh my god.
Like a big pile. I'm like, he didn't wipe, he didn't do anything. And the
He's
worst
probably
part
so
about,
embarrassed.
the worst part about the urinal, it was one of the urinal that had a plastic mat underneath it. You know, with those
Oh,
plastic
yeah,
mats.
I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't like a full like urinal,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
naked urinal. I felt so bad
terrible.
for the worker.
Jesus.
But yeah, she's in the bathroom getting getting a
but,
pregnancy
And then
test.
someone's just knocking. Are you almost done? I'm
Yeah.
just like, poor lady. She's trying to see if she's pregnant.
And the
or not.
worst part about it, you
odd
find out.
place to do that though.
Yeah,
too.
it is odd.
She could have
But I
just
guess
wait till
you got home. Maybe
Yeah.
right. So for whatever reason, she meets up with her sister and her kids at her house.
Correct.
What was the reasoning behind that? I don't remember.
I don't know because she says she's a guitar tech,
Yeah.
and guitar techs do tour with bands,
Mm-hmm.
but
They keep referring to her as a groupie. They could
yeah,
to
because
diminish her.
because here's the
thing.
thing with guitar techs, right? They're the ones who tune your guitars.
Okay.
If they need to be, but they made her seem to be like some fucking electrician or something like that. I'm
Yeah,
just
because
like,
she was able to do electrician stuff.
yeah,
later
but I'm
in
just
the
like,
movie.
but not to jump, but like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess that was the last tour, maybe.
that was the last one she was decided to stop by.
Yeah.
Because it feels like so she stops by at the family's house, and then when they start catching up with each other, but there's like major life events that happened with the sister.
Yeah, because
That's her
she's
sister.
going through a divorce.
Yeah, there's major life event that she didn't know about. Like, how are you just like okay, so comfortable showing up at your sister's house, but like you don't know anything that's been going on with your sister or your nieces and nephews?
And then also she shows up to her sister's house. I got a problem, and I need you to help me with it.
Right? Yeah.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I have my own problem. I'm getting
Yeah.
a divorce, and you didn't,
Yeah, like the dad just leaves. Like they're just like there's like that.
Which is kind of like, I'm like, all right, we
Yeah.
have to do this story.
Right. The
Right.
one thing I didn't like about this movie, and not to get any political or anything like that, The men in this film are discarded like
That's true.
nothing, or they're non-existent.
And also,
Or-
nothing
or-
again. We're not trying to say that. Oh, if there was more men per
No.
se, it would be a different situation.
Yeah.
We're not saying that. We're just saying what we noticed.
The men were categorized poorly. They were either discarded, they were gone out of the picture
Yeah.
completely, or they were the cause of all the torment. In a way, right?
No, I agree.
Right?
Whoa!
So is the cause of the torment in the film. So all the men in the film are either the cause of the pain, non-existent, or just
Also, the priest too.
the priest too. Yeah, well,
Because remember, well, we're jumping again.
yeah, but every man in this film that before we go into deeper,
So you feel like kind of like a Velma thing?
well,
Velma's
I
a little
think-
bit extreme.
I don't think they were bashing men in this movie, but it was like
It was because first thing you go into, you see that okay, the husband just left his family.
left his family, pays child support though. By the way, he said,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well,
leaves
she
them.
considers he's.
He
Yeah.
said co-parenting is child support.
It's funny that they brought it up. Oh yeah, he pays child support.
he
but,
pays child
you
support,
know.
but he just left. So he leaves to do his
Yeah.
own thing. Maybe start a second family, right?
Yeah.
The
Which we don't know.
maybe not.
Maybe she cheated on him.
We don't know. We don't get the full picture.
Yeah,
we
we
just
don't-
get her story.
We get
Get her
just
story,
get her
and then
story.
we have other tenants that live in the building. We have a
older guy who looks like
older-
Russell Crowe,
little bit, yeah,
like Russell Crowe now.
yeah, and then we have the
Spanish guy.
Spanish guy and his brothers. Right, is his brothers, not his kids, right?
I think those are like his nephews or
nephews,
cousins.
and we
cousins.
get them, and they kind of just like die off screen. Like they die off screen, like sort of.
Well, you see one die.
One die on screen, but the other two die kind of off screen. And it's
Yeah.
kind of disappointing. And then our one male character, the son, he's the one that brings the Deadites to the building in the first place.
Correct.
So it's like
But again, the sister shows up. She missed a lot of drama. Earthquake happens.
earthquake happens. Yeah, they go out to get some pizza. The kids go out to get some pizza. Earthquake happens. So what do you
Yeah.
do in an earthquake? What's the first thing you do?
Look for shelter.
Yeah, right. Not jump into the hole. Right, jump
Yeah.
into a hole that the
Well,
earthquake
also,
made.
they're just like scrambling the whole time. I'm like, listen, if you live in LA, you know the deal.
You lived in LA. So
Yeah,
you
I did.
know.
I went to school
Right.
there. People in LA, who, if you're watching, you know the deal. Like you're going under a table. You're not gonna go where something could just fall and bash your head and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So the
I
son-
would have just stayed in the car personally.
Yeah. I mean,
You know.
that probably been the best bet.
Yeah.
So the son jumps into the hole, finds the Book of the Dead,
Well,
and the records of the dead.
yeah, yeah. So
For
but
some reason.
the thing is, before that scene,
Yeah.
it shows that the brother, the boy, he's a DJ.
He's a DJ, yeah.
So it's kind of like, and then he's DJing in a weird way. He's DJing with he's blasting as loud as possible. He has headphones on,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, you just put your headphones on, asshole. Just
Yeah.
fucking do it that
Like,
way.
why are you blasting the movie
Yeah,
music?
and then the way
headphones?
he's dancing, he's just like in it, and I'm just like, all right, bro, we get it. You're passionate about this. I
Yeah,
think
we get it.
That's what I got. I'm like, all right, you're cool.
Yeah, that's the only characterization we get for him. It's just
Yes.
like he's a DJ.
And
right?
then when he goes down the hole, he's like, maybe there's some vinyl records in there.
Yeah. It's like the
It just so happens that there is.
yeah, they're
Like,
built on a bank build. Like the apartment they're living in is built on a bank,
Yeah.
an old bank building. So it opens up, and he looks into the vault that's underneath the structure, and he says, "Whoa, maybe we could sell this book. Oh, these vinyl records are cool. Let me grab some of these." And you're just like, what? How long have you been living in LA? You know damn well you don't jump into no hole
Yeah.
after an earthquake. That's the stupidest thing I've ever
and
seen in
then
my life.
even the sister told him that was like, hey, what about aftershock? He's like,
Right.
yeah, fuck it, I'm going in. You
Look,
know.
I'm gonna grab this book with a bunch of teeth on it.
And then also before he grabs the book, the cross of Jesus almost like hits him in
Yeah.
the face. A lot of foreshadowing, like, hey,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah, when you go into a hole,
The Spanish Catholic up there, he's gonna tell you. No, he's gonna, you know.
when you see the hole, when you go into a hole and you see a whole bunch of crosses on top of it,
Hell no.
yeah, you're
I-
gonna leave whatever's there.
Like I understood the reason why he went in because the whole idea is that in a month the family has to move and they don't have a place to go yet.
Right.
So being that he knows this is an old bank, he sees in the hole.
Maybe there's money.
Exactly. So he was scavenging like those little slots where people usually put like money or whatnot.
Like safety deposit boxes.
Yeah, and there was none, and that's when he sees all this other stuff.
Yeah, and then he got attacked by a swarm of locusts.
Yes, which is just waiting the whole time for.
So weak.
We're like,
It's
yeah,
so
we're
weak.
gonna come and get you, and then the whole Jesus cross thing. I
Yeah,
was just
Jesus
like,
cross
all
thing.
right.
You're like, okay. So we meet our family. We don't spend a lot of time with our family, right?
No.
We spend a little bit of time just getting to know their intricacies. Like, so the little girl is quirky. The
Yeah.
middle child woman, she's kind of, is she the oldest or she's the middle? Who's older, the boy or the girl?
I think she's the oldest.
Okay, so the oldest
because,
one.
Well, no, she's the middle because she doesn't drive. Remember?
Okay, right.
Does the brother
So
drove?
she is an activist of some sort that we don't know about. She's making like
Yeah,
activist
but
things.
didn't she say she wants to like go to the protest about Labor Day or something?
Yeah,
like
something
that?
Labor Day. Or
I
something.
heard Labor Day, and I
She
was
was
just
making
like,
a paint like a thing, and then
Yeah.
the whole time she's just like, the one thing that annoyed me about this movie, she's like, "Mom, I need my protest shirt. Did you wash it? Where is it? Where is it?"
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, bitch, wash that shirt
and then the
yourself.
mom was like, "You know where the dryer is?
Yeah,
you can
wash it yourself." I kept saying that to her. I was like,
need a protest. You need to wash my shit, lady.
I
And
was
I'm
like,
just
wait a
kinda
minute, aren't you
hold
like
up.
16, 17? Wash that shit yourself. I'm doing something.
I would have been like, go fuck. And the poor mom is dyeing her hair too.
Yeah.
That's not easy. We call it tinte in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they weren't Spanish though.
No.
Oh, okay. Like, were they Spanish up there? There were Spanish characters in this
there
movie,
was.
though.
Which they
But-
have to be Catholic and stuff
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
Catholic, of course. But I'm like, wash it yourself. So anyway, her characterization, she's an activist.
Well,
right?
the kids were rough. You have one son who's just blasting
a
music
DJ
insanely
blasting.
loud. You
One's
have the,
complaining about a shirt and
that she could wash.
right.
You got this
And
little girl who's
she's
just
quirky.
cutting the head off.
She's
of
cutting the head off
fucking,
a doll. She's quirky. She makes
oh,
a staff called Staffany.
Yes, Daphne.
Staffany. Yeah. Staffany.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, it's
Hey, Daphne. It was how
So-
many foreshadowings did we see in the beginning?
A lot of foreshadowing.
There's the
Like they show
scissors
like
one
the
and Staffany.
scissors. They show the staff. They show like different things in the movie where like, oh, the garage door isn't opening up.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. This is gonna play into the future.
Mm.
So, just to jump up ahead a little bit, to get into the meat and potatoes of everything. So we don't.
Do you
really,
like meat and potatoes?
I do. It's delicious. I love.
When they say meat and potatoes, is it like meatloaf and mashed potatoes?
Not necessarily. It could be steak and it could be French fries.
Ooh, I want steak and
It
French
could be
fries.
Papa Frites and it could be steak.
These recline?
They recline, yeah. They recline. Just got to
Holy
push back.
shit.
Yeah.
This whole time,
Yeah.
we recline like this.
Yeah. They push back. Look, they recline.
Human centipede.
Yeah, we're about to scissor right now. so getting to the meat and potatoes of everything.
God, that makes me so hungry.
Yeah, we can get some meat and potatoes later if you want. Irish style meat and potatoes in respect for Lee Cronin, the director of this film. So once the son brings back all that gear and then he starts to play the records naturally, right?
Yeah.
And it brings out the Deadite or whatever the Kandarian's demon that possesses his mother.
Yeah.
And it immediately possesses her. And then to mimic, like, so now we're in an apartment building rather than the forest.
Correct.
So instead of trees and vines, we get electrical wires, right?
Cables,
That's like the cables,
boiling water,
Right.
kitchen knives, scissors.
scissors. So we get all the different things.
blankets.
So like the vines of a tree are mimicking the wires in the building, the rewiring building, and then the mother gets attacked. Similar scene to like the tree scene, right? But it doesn't go all the way with it.
Yeah, that's what, in the last reaction, we were saying that they cheaped out.
They cheaped out a lot.
Because it suggested that. Because just like in the original Evil Dead, spread,
yeah.
you know?
even in the Evil Dead remake, she gets the thing too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it had that situation looks like it's going to happen. And
It
it
looked
just
like it was
breaks her
gonna
arm.
It breaks her arm, and then we don't
That's
know. Like, obviously, she gets infected, and then,
Yeah.
but we don't know like how exactly it got inside of her.
Yeah.
And then she starts making reference like, "It's inside me. I feel it inside me. Don't let him take my babies." Right. That's the last bit
Yeah.
of like stuff that we get from her. But immediately starts right off the bat. She comes right into the house, and she's like, she's breaking the eggs with the blood, and she's like, "I'm ready to kill." Like,
Yeah.
there's no build up to it. It's just kind of like,
And
I
then-
got infected. I want to kill my kids.
Like, if I saw my mom do that, I would be like, yeah, this is crazy. I'm like, Mom, are you okay? I'm like,
Yeah.
I would be asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be just like,
Yeah, just
doing
staring
that.
at. There's a lot of that in this movie. That's a
Yeah.
major problem I have with the film is that when people are doing these things to themselves. So there's a part where one character is eating glass, and there's one character that's like cutting somebody up and stuff like that. And then the characters that are witnessing that character do those things, they're just sitting there with their mouth open like a fish, like, like, no, I'm not watching that shit. I'm getting the hell out of here. Like,
Yeah.
they give you time. It's like those scenes where they just give you time to showcase what they want the set
Yeah.
piece to be. And it's not how normal reactions would be.
I agree. That was like my biggest complaint of the movie.
I think
the reactions.
the main problem with this movie, and we can once we get into a little bit deeper, but the main problem is that the main characters in this film are a family, and we all have families.
Didn't I talk about that before the movie? I was like,
me too. I had
we talked about it before. I was like, I just don't know. I don't like the idea. I always like the idea you're at a cabin,
Yeah.
in middle of nowhere, friends. Your typical horror movie recipe, right?
Right.
But we're talking about a family in a apartment complex building in LA.
Yeah.
I just had like bad vibes, especially
It-
for an Evil Dead
It
movie.
didn't feel right, and
You
it
know.
doesn't work because we all know what a family unit is, and they seem to me like a very loving family. The way that the little bit of time we set up with them,
Yeah, because they're tickling each other in the
they
beginning. They're
like
playing,
each other.
Yeah.
They look like they like each other, right?
Yeah.
So any bit, even friends, even your dog, you're gonna have some sympathy towards. The way that these characters react to each other, trying to kill each other, makes no sense to me. Like
Especially the little girl.
the little girl.
The
yeah.
little girl, like if my son saw me fall, I'm pretty sure he would be like, "Oh my God, Daddy, are you okay?"
Right.
Meanwhile, the little girl's watching her mom mutilate herself.
Yeah.
Well, first off, watch her mom die.
Right. No reaction either.
Well, let's before we jump into all the gore and stuff. When the mom dies, right?
Dies. Yeah, she dies. Yeah. To
Everybody's,
them.
everybody's like, "Yeah, she just."
I can't
she
believe
just
you're
stopped.
dead.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And everybody's just like walking around like, ah.
Man, I can't believe she's dead. Like they were
And I'm
acting
like-
like they heard that a celebrity died online, like from the news. Like they were just like, oh, you know,
I like a B-list
yeah, they were
celebrity
like,
too.
oh,
like,
you know, Dan Aykroyd died, right? You know, no, please don't.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, he's an A-list
please, Dan Aykroyd. But like you say, oh, you know, Dan Aykroyd died, right? You hear it on Access Hollywood,
Yeah.
and then you just go, oh man, Dan Aykroyd died, man. That's a shame, man.
Yeah.
What are we having for dinner tonight? You know, it was that kind of
Yeah.
reaction. Like, and then when she makes her inevitable return back to the living, right? Because she's a deadite, she's not dead.
Yeah.
You know, the first reaction she gets is from the daughter is, she's alive? I'm like, whoa. This doesn't make any sense. This is not how a daughter would react to a mother being dead and coming back to life.
Yeah.
This is not how now the mother has an excuse because she's possessed by the demon.
Yeah.
This is not how a little girl would react to her brothers and sisters getting assaulted and seeing the person you love the most doing the assaulting.
Also, the other tenants were in the room too. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the part where the Spanish tenant. He was like, "Guys, let's pray real quick."
Yeah, they added a lot of religious things, like little themes, but they never did anything
See,
with it.
I think they're gonna be a spin-off to this about the priests. So
Okay.
before when they were playing the vinyls, you hear the priest talking about the book that he found and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing I thought about this part, excuse me, is that why the fuck did I just say excuse me? Fuck that shit.
What?
All right, anyways.
Excuse
The part
yourself.
that I like about it is that they talk about that there's 3 volumes to the Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that had me think, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I like
and
that
this
idea.
priest, he thought that he could heal wounds and stuff like that with this, and
Yeah.
he wanted to use that. And you see here the other priests going against him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
That's a
this
cool
is totally
idea.
gonna be a spinoff.
Very cool idea.
That's the vibe I got.
Do you want it directed by Lee Cronin, though?
No,
Me neither. Why can't we get Fede Alvarez back? He was good.
I don't know. I want Sam Raimi back.
I'm done with Sam. Sam Raimi's cool.
Well, he's
cool.
controlled, bro.
He's cool. He's
Like-
not gonna do
like
anything
even
again. He
this-
wrote this movie, by the way, Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Well, you know who else produced it was Bruce Campbell
Bruce
too.
Campbell.
Yeah, I saw his name. I was like, I'll check him out.
I mean, I'm glad he's getting his bread. I love Bruce Campbell, obviously. I like that he's getting his bread, but this ain't it. I didn't like this one.
You know, I kind of wish he was in it. He was always he Campbell's in every fucking Spider-Man movie. You know
yeah,
what I
if
mean?
you're gonna make
every
sure
Marvel
like, you,
movie's
you,
in
you're,
it.
you're
but-
not gonna have Ash in your movie. You better damn well sure make sure that your characters are well liked, well done characters. Like they take characterizations of Ash and they just plug them in like without any regard, without being
Yeah.
earned. Ash was able to earn that status over time.
Yeah.
We got to know him over several movies where he got to earn those quips. He got to earn all of those like those comebacks and those like one-liners. They're just adding it to these characters
to the
like
point that when you get to Army of Darkness,
yeah.
all the groovy, all that stuff, you're like, that's fucking what
That's
I'm talking
it.
about. That's
you
Bruce.
built up
Yeah,
to that.
exactly.
You earned it. This movie, they add those quips to these characters, and you're just like, no, you didn't earn that.
Yeah.
So we have these characters acting totally irrational
Yeah.
to each other. Like this is not how a mother and son would act. Like I was just thinking, like just a quick tangent, real quick. I know this movie is schlock, right? It's not elevated horror. It's for the normie horror movie goers, right?
Which is nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong with that. But
But
the
what-
problem
yeah.
is that when you have this family unit and they're not acting like a family unit, I stop caring. Because if you're not caring about your mother dying, why the hell should I care? Like, and
It's true.
It goes
Yeah.
on a tangent because I know I'm bringing up Hereditary, right? One of my favorite movies of all time. When that daughter dies, the suffering and pain that Toni Collette showed in those scenes where she just got her heart ripped out. I felt it in my heart. I felt my heart was ripped out. That wasn't even my daughter, but I felt it. I felt so sad in those scenes because all Toni Collette wanted to do was die in those scenes. And yeah, as a parent, if you lose your child, just imagining it, right?
Yeah,
Anybody I
it's-
talk
yeah.
to, it's the most heartbreaking thing you could ever imagine. Losing a parent, losing a grandparent is mentally disabling, right?
Yeah, because they're gone forever. And it's someone that you grew up with.
That you
not
loved,
only kids,
that you
but
cared
like
for, that cared for
like
you,
parent and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah.
And these characters are treating them like they're your college roommates that you just met 3
Not
minutes
even
ago.
A goldfish died.
A goldfish.
Like, oh, my goldfish
Dan
died.
Aykroyd died.
Put it. No, damn it! If Dan Aykroyd died, I would care.
Oh, I would too.
I'd
man.
probably wear a shirt and everything.
But
like
they
that.
treated him like Dan
Aykroyd got a little weird, though. I will say this.
Well, Dan Aykroyd has Asperger's though.
Yeah, but he's saying that he got abducted by aliens and all
He has
this stuff.
Asperger's
like that.
though. He's on the spectrum. I mean, I gotta
Yeah, that's true.
help him out, man. He's cool.
But the
He's
alien
good.
thing is weird. I'm like, bro, you did not get abducted by aliens.
He might have. You never know.
Can you imagine they really did?
Shit.
Fire in the sky, his ass.
Yo, there was a thing.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Fire in the sky. That's what they did to me.
There was a report that came out the other day, and I'm not dead serious. I'm not even making this up. It's not a joke. There was a bunch of cows that got their tongues ripped out and their anuses cut out.
The fuck?
No sign of anything there. Like there was no sign that the cows were struggling. There was no sign that there was no like tracks anywhere or anything around these cows.
Let me ask you, what
It's
did they do
crazy.
with the cows after that? Do you think they're like, all right, well, let's get some steak and
I guess they have to
cheeseburgers out
kill
of
them.
this?
I guess they're
But
dead.
do you think they like
Eat
cut
'em.
them up and eat it up?
Probably.
Be like, hey, we got
But
that.
it depends on how long they've been there, though.
Ah, that's true.
Because it decays like that.
Be like, I
quick.
got that anus cow real quick. You want a hamburger? From
No,
me? Like,
de-anused. It got de-anused.
like, well, we didn't have to do it anymore. So
Yeah.
isn't that like? Here's the thing about aliens. I always think about
Mm-hmm.
like it's a lot of comedy that's like, oh, they come and they probe your asshole and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that I'm like, what the fuck?
Why? I mean, that's the orifice to get to. Like, why can't they probe like my ear or something? That's better.
Yeah, or like your belly button or nipples or something like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you just wake up and just aliens just wow.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, what the
It's got to be
fuck?
like the idea, like when you go fishing, right, and you catch a fish and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
release it. It's kind of like they must think we're aliens, like we got experimented on.
Yeah, but
he tells
okay,
his fish friends,
we
he's like,
catch
yo,
a
they'll
fish,
never
but I'm
believe
not,
it.
like fucking it in his asshole.
I mean, sometimes we put
puts
like a
it back.
tracker on them, like on a lobster. Like
That's true.
We put
That's
tracker
true.
and be like, they put this thing on
We
my
put
ass.
trackers on whales and stuff like sharks.
And then they tell
yeah.
their whale friends, like, yo, this guy picked me up and put a whale thing, put a tracker on my ass.
But when
Nobody
you put
believes
it, and then the whale or shark is like exaggerating. No, it's in my ass.
him. Yeah, nobody believes them. They're like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Like, no, seriously, it's in my ass.
All right, pal, come
I'm
on,
like,
let's go
"All
eat some
bro."
fish.
Yeah, let's go get some whatever.
Yeah, let's go get some shark whores.
But the alien thing is getting more intense, though.
Yeah.
You know.
But going back to Evil Dead Rise,
Yeah.
it's like they didn't understand what a family unit is. It's like somebody that never had a family, that never had kids, that never had a mom.
Yeah.
Just write these characters in because this is not how they would react to each other.
And I don't want to hear the excuse of shocks. I heard some
No.
people are like, "Oh,
No.
when you're in shock and stuff like that."
No.
But listen,
No, it was
if I saw my
nonchalant.
mom die in front of me,
Right.
in the most demonic way, and she went on. Remember that bathroom scene where she's screaming and stuff like that? Everybody just watching, like,
And they're just they're covering their
it's
ears,
too
like,
loud.
oh my god, this is loud.
You're not running
it's like
away
somebody
or-
turned up the volume too loud on a TV. They're covering their ears. Like, come on.
And don't do that. If someone's really hot from a fever or something like that, you call 911.
You're right.
Don't just throw them in a tub with ice and all that stuff. That's shock. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
can make the situation
It
way
just
worse.
was they weren't reacting
It was-
like how a family unit should have been. They were written like they were a bunch of college students that just met.
Or they're written like, "Hey, we're actors
Right.
that just met."
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a better way of
Well,
putting
actually, I think the chemistry was not there.
it. It wasn't there. It wasn't
like,
there.
It's not believable that the brother and sister were
No,
related.
because there's a scene like when so the sister gets and this is another thing this movie does. I don't know if they did this in the other movies, but the way that the movie treats the Deadites, it treats it like it's a zombie infection. So
Yeah.
if you get cut and then you get any of the Deadite blood in you or the saliva, you turn into a Deadite as well.
Now I do remember in the one before this one, the remake.
Mm-hmm.
There were scenes where like you would get thrown up on with blood, and then you become one.
become one.
But there was only one time.
Okay, see, it's
Because that guy that
confusing.
got murdered 90 times, remember the one with the
yeah, he became
the
a Deadite
syringe?
like at the very end.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like just cause. It's
Yeah.
like you know, you're like, oh,
I'm a
shit.
Deadite now. Like I
Yeah.
always thought, like the Deadite has to the vessel that the Deadite's in gets killed, and then he can move into the next one, right?
Yeah.
that's what I always idealized it with. But in this movie, this Deadite, the first Deadite, the mother, but maybe because it's from a different book, maybe that's the reason why.
That's true.
That could be it. But she was infecting other people. So the first person to get infected is the daughter, right? Through the
Yes.
tattoo gun. The tattoo gun gets she hits her with a tattoo, and I thought the tattoo gun was gonna go into her eye. I don't know about you.
And they pulled it out and
They
they went
pulled
to
it
her
out.
cheek.
A cheek.
And
It was
I'm like,
nothing.
when they went to the eye, I was like, oh, this is about to
I was
go
like, ooh,
down.
it's gonna go down.
And then she backed up, and I was like, what? What kind of dead eye is this? First off,
Yeah.
like it's like
You're just gonna carve
the
her
dead eyes
cheek?
I know are gonna go in.
Yeah.
I mean, the hallway scene where she murdered all the tenants and stuff like
Yeah.
that. She destroyed them, and she wants to torture her kids. You're not gonna go
Right.
to the cheek. What the
Yeah,
fuck
you
is
would
that?
kill the like. I would think this deadite, like the deadites, are vicious, right?
Yeah,
and I think
they like to torture.
They like to torture, and they want to kill. Like now, they got hold of the mother, and then they're going to kill their kids in some of the most intimate ways possible, right? The tattoo, like it just didn't feel like this demon was like even like having fun with it. Like it was gets a little cut. She gets infected, right? So she starts eating glass, blah blah blah, which is a decent scene. I mean, there's a lot of CGI in this movie, by the way. Like I didn't like it, but a lot of CGI in this movie. So she's eating the glass, it's going through her neck. They're going through the whole motions, whatever. They're able to subdue her, and then as they subdue her or kill her, this is how they do it. The Staphne goes into her head,
Yes.
right? Stabs her, and so the little girl's just like, "Oh my god, I killed my sister!" Like she's not even doesn't even care that you just stuck a pole through your sister's head, and then the brother
the mouth, through the head, yeah.
through the head,
Yeah.
like and to add insult to injury, the brother is like, yeah, I just tied her up in some garbage bags, or like I tied her up because I wasn't sure. Like,
But the
yo,
way he
no.
did it was the most
No.
like, all right, hey, if I have to if I have to tie up anybody, right? I'll be like, all right. The way he tied it, I was like, hey, I'm gonna tie her up so it looks scary when you look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm like, what?
I'm like, these are people you loved. Why
Yeah.
are you treating them like meat?
duct tape around the neck,
Right.
around the, and then
Stupid.
the way it's done, I'm just like, what the hell
Makes
gave
no
you that
sense.
idea?
Makes no
This
sense.
is the guy that's going in a hole during an earthquake.
Yeah,
usually.
he's an idiot too. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, these are people you love. Why are you treating them like they're chuck roast that you just bought from the grocery store?
Now, one thing I again with the reactions of the family, let's just say the daughter saw that her mom gets possessed and just see some stuff like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't question anything about the book till the very last
Yeah,
minute, right?
till the very last minute.
She's like, "You read the book," and then the sister, the aunt,
Mm-hmm.
is like, "Whatever about the book." And I'm like, "Well, what fucking book is this? Let me see this shit." You know what I mean?
And let's talk
it's all
about
very late reactions.
late reactions, weird reactions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cheese grater scene for a minute.
All right.
Okay, so this cheese grater scene was hyped up.
Yeah,
it has its own poster.
I see people talking about it, like, yo, that cheese grater scene. I'm sorry. Like I said before, you go to an ER with that wound from that cheese grater scene, they're gonna send your ass back home. That shit ain't shit. It hit the superficial of the skin. It was just a little. Like,
There was no blood.
It was just
was no
just
blood.
you
It
take
scratches.
if you take a razor and you just do that, that's the same thing you do.
Yeah.
I don't know why they used the wrong side of the cheese grater.
Yeah.
Get that
I thought
big-
the cheese grater, because when I grate cheese, I get chunks of the cheese that get grated into whatever bowl that I'm using. The cheese grater, the sister grabs it, puts it on the aunt's leg, right? Reams it down. Now, that part I'm like, ooh, what happened?
Yeah.
But when they show the leg, it's just scratches. There's no chunks of the leg missing.
I thought she was gonna really go in
Yeah,
at it,
yeah.
and then she's gonna switch it to the other side, which is the side that it gets more.
That
chunky.
actually gets the cheese.
Yeah, and then she just doesn't.
I thought you were gonna see
I said she
strips of
doesn't.
her skin. I thought it was gonna be strips of her skin
And
and
she's, like,
meat,
eating?
or that too. Yeah,
Can
but
you
like,
imagine she gets like strings of her
I mean-
skin and just makes like a meatball pasta?
I mean, yeah.
It's a me.
It's a me.
dad-eye.
I'm a dad. No, but like I thought, like we were gonna see her skin being peeled, like the strips of mozzarella cheese.
You know
like,
they
coming
actually
off.
do that in the surgery rooms,
What do you mean?
like for
Grade people?
burn victims. That's
Okay.
how they get your.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they
yeah,
take
yeah.
the usually from the thigh. They use
Yeah,
a
it's a
cheese
skin
grater.
graft,
There's
yeah.
a special kind of cheese grater, but it's essentially the same thing.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But I thought we were gonna see like her flesh being ripped from her body. It's just a scratch.
Yeah.
It's a scratch.
she's
It doesn't
like,
even. Yo, it doesn't even bleed. Did you see it bleed? It didn't bleed.
No, because it wouldn't. I mean, if it would bleed, but you're just going in the very top layer of skin of
Very
it.
trash. Like
And it's
people were
like-
hyping this up.
If anything, the tattoo probably hurt more.
Yeah.
You know, on the face.
Yeah, probably.
That shit hurt more.
Listen, I don't know. A lot of you reviewers out there, I'm talking to you guys. You're talking about this movie is one of the best Evil Dead movies. You're going in saying this is the greatest 9 out of 10 from IGN.
Shame
Yo,
on you.
How much did they pay you? Because this movie ain't it. It ain't it. How much did they pay you?
And if you pay us, we might change our tune. We
Listen.
might sing a little different too.
I'll tell you quite frankly. Look, I got a full-time job. You got a full-time job.
Yeah.
We have good careers. We're doing this. We're having fun
Yeah.
doing this. But if somebody were to come, if Warner Brothers came to us and said, "Hey, watch this movie. You get to hang out with Bruce Campbell. Here's a couple $1,000. Can you give us a really good review? Obviously, if we had a big channel, they would, right? I'd be inclined to do it too.
I will probably be like, hey, no offense. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. Fuck you. As you're counting the money, as I'm counting the
Bruce,
money.
Kiss my ass,
Yeah,
asshole.
as I'm counting the money.
What was that store he worked at, Quick Mart or something like that?
Yeah, what was it? I forgot.
What it was.
Yeah, but I'm counting the money
Shop
as that happens.
8 Mart or something
But
like
I
that.
mean, it's easy. Men are easily corruptible, is what I'm saying. So, what's cool about this channel, how it's so small, we're going to give you our reviews, and we're going to be unabashed. We're just going to tell you how it is and how we saw it.
And
we're not influenced by anyone.
And a lot of times it may seem that we're very negative about every movie, but we're not. We're just giving the honest opinions.
Honest opinions.
And we're giving these movies fair reviews.
Yeah, it's overhyped. This film is overhyped.
When
Like,
when it's overhyped, it is, which it is.
This movie, the main sin, I think, with this movie, besides the acting, besides the character development, because you're not going to an Evil Dead movie for character development. You're not going for characters. You're not going for story. You're going for the gore. And this movie pulls its punches.
Yeah.
It is not that gory.
It goes to it.
There's a lot of blood, not a lot of gore.
That's true. It goes to the point they're like, oh man, this is gonna be gory, this is gonna be crazy, and then they pull back.
They pull back.
The cheese grater scene, wrong side of the cheese grater.
Wrong side of cheese grater.
Tattoo
No
machine.
meat.
Yeah. Tattoo machine. Not the eye, the cheek.
Not the eye, the cheek.
And then the glass. Remember when she went through the hand?
Yeah.
She should have just kept like that would have been
Yeah.
more, and
Yeah.
then just like
Yeah,
kind of
this
like
it
that. I'm
wasn't
like, that's a
vicious. It
strong ass
wasn't vicious
mirror
at all.
or whatever it was.
I know we've been talking very negative about this movie so far, but one thing that I will give props to was the main actress.
Yes.
She crushes it.
She's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
She's
So
scary.
good.
But you know what? She did such a good job in acting because she gave that.
What's her name again?
I know it's Sutherland, right?
Yeah, it's Alyssa Sutherland. Let's
Yeah.
give her a shout out. She's amazing.
So here's my thing,
She has a
right?
great look.
She was able to do this, separate herself from being that mom to a deadite, and it was convincing. Not once can I believe that, like, oh, this lady could be a deadite, right? With the way she's talking and
Yeah.
the way she's smiling, you know, all the
Devilish.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I was like, props to her because she was a phenomenal actor.
So good.
Actress,
And she has
excuse
like
me.
a very striking look to her.
Yeah.
Like she
She
has
kind of
a
reminds me. She would be a good Poison Ivy from
yeah,
Matt
yeah, yeah.
Reeves. Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very like strikingly beautiful, but very like her features are like not exaggerated, but they're very pronounced.
Yes.
Very pronounced features that make her like a traditional, like beautiful woman, like a traditional, like model-esque fit woman, but like in a non-traditional way, right? Like something's like not quite right with her, like a little bit off, but very, very striking. Like she comes into the room, everyone's gonna notice, right?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing. That
Yeah,
kind
and
of
I
look.
agree with you on the features. Like she's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, but she still has this. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah,
that's why I say like, all right, she would be perfect for
Poison Ivy
Poison
would be
Ivy and
perfect.
Batman's Matt Reeves.
Perfect.
Perfect. Because I know a lot of people want Poison Ivy to be exaggerated in
Yeah.
certain areas. But,
No.
but she's perfect. I think
No, she's great.
acting was great. She scares me.
She's scary. That smile
the grin,
is
yeah.
so devilish.
The doorbell scene. Now, what happened if the eye hole wasn't in that door?
Yeah.
The whole time there was like a whole like 5-minute scene of like you see what's going on through
This
the eye
action
hole.
going on through
I'm
the
like
eye hole.
the eye hole I have in my door sucks, so I wouldn't be able to see
I
shit.
got the Ring video doorbell, so like I got a very
I
good
don't know
like
if they're doing it by ring. They just
yeah,
on
be
their
like
phones,
a Ring video doorbell. Like, what are you doing out there, dude?
they're like rewinding it. Like, did he just throw his head off? Oh
yeah,
shit!
he just ripped that guy's throat out.
Did
I'm not answering that door.
Did he just swallow his eyeball and like remember that part when she bites
yeah, she
his
bites her
eye off?
eyeball and then spits it out into the other guy's throat, and then she kills a kid in the movie too. She kills
which
that
I
little
thought
kid.
was pretty cool because
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. That
And I was like, they're not
they didn't
afraid to
hold
kill.
back.
I think they set up the fact that like she's not afraid to kill children, so like they kill a child like right from the beginning, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm down with it. I'm down with this. Like, let's see
the
where
eyeball
this
scene
goes.
was a little cheesy to me though.
Very
Like-
cheesy. It was very
like
Sam
just-
Raimi-esque.
Yes,
Yeah.
but kind of like not. I don't know, like Sam Raimi-esque, but not as funny as he will have
No,
it.
well, not as fun. Not as funny.
You know, like what's the
Yeah.
movie Get Out of Hell?
No, Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell, like
Yeah,
that. The when the eyeball went in her mouth.
Yeah. It was kind of like that cheesy, like an homage type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like, but it didn't really land because they still try to play it serious.
Yeah.
But Sutherland crushes it. Like everyone else is kind of mid to me. I was just like, eh.
That's the thing, and it's nothing against who was picked for the film. It just wasn't believable.
Wasn't believable. The acting, like the sister, they're saying like, no, she's supposed to be our Ash, right? Beth, the sister,
Yes.
she's played by Lily Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be like our Ash, like our badass chick, and like honestly, it didn't work for me. What
No,
about
and
you?
then let's talk about the whole guitar technician thing because she
Oh,
fixed
okay.
the whole.
Yeah.
antique
Right.
vinyl machine. I'm just looking around. I was like, okay, if the power's out, where are you getting the power from?
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then she's soldering too. I'm like, okay, where are you getting that power from?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna tell me that's battery powered and all this stuff, kiss my ass. Okay, no, I'm joking.
Kiss his ass.
But kiss it. Kiss
But,
my thick flavored ice cream.
Yeah. Apparently they got that.
But yeah, that whole scene where she's like, I'm a guitar technician. Let
Yeah.
me tell you something from guitar technician I know. I don't know if they'll be able to do that. The solder shit, yeah, of course, but electricity work to fix a vinyl machine, to have it playable during a blackout, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about. You sure about that? You sure about that?
And then I found it weird that this vinyl player, they have it like regular playing, but then they have to speed it up.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that part. I know there's different speeds on it, but I was just like, okay, why have it like that? Just make it that you could just
Right.
make it slow. I don't know. It was just a lot of weird things.
So we continue on this movie. She's terrorizing people, really effective as a deadite, but they don't really give her anything cool or interesting to do. And then the whole solution of this is that the little girl, because by this point we're all everybody's infected. The mother, the brothers gets infected, and they're all the sister, and the main character Beth or whatever, she takes the little girl. I forgot her name, and their idea is to run in the parking lot and get the hell out of there. Right?
I'm trying to think. I think
forgot her
it's
name.
not Lily or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
no.
sounds like she looked like a lily.
Yeah.
But they need to get out of the building, right?
Yeah.
So they traverse and find their way out, and then by the end, this is where the cardinal. Like, this is one of the biggest sins of the film. But by the end of the movie, we all the characters, all the Deadite characters, kind of fuse together to create this Rat King type character, where they all merge into one Deadite thing with arms and feet, just running around, and it becomes considerably less scary. Right? It's like non-threatening and slower for some reason. Now she has like the monster has like 6 or 7 feet and like 6 hands, but it's slower than when it was just a human version.
Yeah.
Like, so they're getting chased by it, and then we have the obligatory scenes with like, oh, they're just in LA. There just happens to be a tree cutting truck in the basement with a chainsaw that's actively
all
working.
the palm trees, right? And
Yeah.
and it's full of gas too.
It's filled with gas.
It's not electric chainsaw. It's gas, right?
It's gas, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, sure.
Yeah, and then she gets a shotgun also. She gets her boomstick from one of the characters who looks like he probably was a veteran or something. He dies off screen. And then they're traversing their way through the basement, trying to get their way out of it. The Deadite monster who looks terrible. It's CGI, and it's terrible looking.
Yeah.
It's running around the place like a little spider monkey, and then it corners the little girl, has the chainsaw, gets the chainsaw, is like, I can't wait to cut your little head off, and then slowly like murders everyone instantly, but she's like slowly lowering the chainsaw to kill the little girl.
And the girl, of course, just
No, and then and then the aunt.
Meanwhile, she stabbed the shit out of her own sister, but in this scene, she's
like, no, and the aunt is finding her own maternal instincts, right? Because she's pregnant. She's finding her own maternal instincts, and she busts her way in and says, yeah, I'm ready to be a mom because I'm ready to protect my kids, and then saves the day and throws her
here
into
she
a wood
comes
chipper.
with, come get some.
Yeah, and then they give her the line, come get some, and you're just like, this is what I equate to. I was playing basketball today with my brother, right? And then I was like, I have 2 kids, right? He doesn't have any kids, but you have 2 kids.
Yep.
Imagine for a second that your children turned into Deadites, right? And for whatever reason, they're running after you. There's no going back. You have to put them down, right?
Yeah.
And they're just chasing you. They're on all fours. They're not your kids anymore, right?
Yeah.
You have to put them down. You have a shotgun, and you're like, it breaks your heart, but you have to shoot them. It's either them or you.
Especially my kids.
In a lot of instances, I think that at the end of the day, you'd be like, look, these are my kids. I'm here for them, even if they're Deadites. I might just allow myself to die. And no, it sounds weird, but you're just like, these are I couldn't kill my children, right?
Yeah.
I whatever, this world or the next, it is what it is, right? I give up.
Especially our kids. Our kids are young.
They're
Especially
young.
yours. Yeah.
They're young. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
running. I'm going to kill you. And then I got a shotgun. Let's say I do put them down, right? My little baby, she's running after me. She's like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. She starts, her mouth opens up, and she's jumping across me, and she's going to kill me. And I cock my shotgun or my Winchester, boom, blow her out of the water, and then blow her head off, right? Do you think the line I'm going to say is, come get some?
My line would be, I love you. I'm so sorry.
You
just
could be
do one
like
of
this, you stupid bitch.
like-
do you think I would quip in a situation where I have to kill the people that I love the most?
Yeah.
And I have to kill them. Do you think I'm going to spout out one-liners and wink at the audience? That was the dumbest scene in the movie.
Yeah.
You're killing your sister. saying like, "You're not my sister anymore."
Nieces and nephews.
And nieces and nephews, which you did a bad job of protecting. Come get some. Just because you wanted to J.J. Abrams the whole thing and make references to the older movies. That pissed me off, man. I was like, no, you don't get to say "come get some." You don't get to say that. You don't earn that.
See, it was corny to me.
Corny.
It was just like, I'm like, all right. And I remember this scene from Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
They put that guy through that same
That was
woodcutter
a brutal
machine.
scene. Yeah.
That scene was great.
Great, yeah.
But I remember that I was just like, oh, here we go.
Black dudes, right? They put
Yeah, and they put him in the garbage bag and they delivered it to the gang.
Delivered him, and that's when Jackie Chan decided to help them.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I agree 100%.
Right?
That's the whole point of this movie. That it just ruined the movie for me. It's just like, this is your family.
It's your family. Yeah.
You know, every
Makes
horror
no
movie
sense,
you see, if there's a family member, a boyfriend becomes a zombie. Oh no, I'll become one. You know what I mean? Like Train to Busan, right?
Yeah.
You know, that movie shows it really well. Like, okay, remember the two old ladies?
Mm-hmm.
My sister, she allowed herself to be eaten because she loves her sister. But also punish the people that were like punishing other people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that shows true like
love, like true love. You're not going
in
to
this
quip.
situation.
You're not going to
give a fuck about each other.
Yeah, they just don't care. They're just like hey, come get some, baby. Go Ruby. Like it's like it doesn't make sense. I get what you're trying to do. You want to make it fun for the audience, but if you cut off your brain, if you cut your brain back on halfway a little bit, you're gonna be like, this kind of is stupid. This doesn't make any sense, guys.
But it's kind of your sister
this
and
is
your
your
nieces
sister
and
and
nephews.
your nieces and nephews. I'm not trying to like belabor the point.
And then you're acting tough in front of the younger, like,
Right.
hey, look, I'm about to fucking put a chainsaw on your mom's face.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
Woo! Turn on the machine. I'm about to kick him in there.
You know what I found pretty interesting about this movie too? Like they touch on a lot of religious stuff, right? It's not a political film, right? But they touch on a lot of religious stuff, right?
They
do.
do.
So the one religious thing that I picked up on, I'm sure you picked up on it too. So the mother is like doing her deadite thing, and then she corners the sister, right? So the sister's pregnant, right? But not very far along in her pregnancy.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So when she climbs her hand,
soul.
Yeah. She grabs her hand. She's like, I'm going to swallow your soul. 2 souls?
But
so
like, depending if you're pro-choice or pro-life.
Yeah. So the demon is acknowledging the fact that life begins at conception.
So this demon is pro-life.
It recognizes the rules of the Catholic Church, right? Or like Catholicism.
There you go.
So it's like it's recognizing the fact that is a soul there, where most people would say, well, by the whatever trimester you can get an abortion because the child isn't fully developed yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the demon itself is recognizing that the baby has a soul
and then
already.
The pregnancy test is usually 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
That you'll be able to tell.
Yeah,
so
and she didn't know she was pregnant yet. So
exactly.
And then there was another thing where in the movie, I know we're jumping around a little bit. I mean, we didn't like the movie, but like
they're
jumping around.
You got that already.
You got
right?
that already.
Yeah,
you get the gist. We kind of
and I think you know why. But
we
we're
freaking dissected the hell out of this movie, but more than pretty much any other movie we did. But there's scenes where she's like having like pains.
Yes.
But what's that about? She's like, ooh.
I don't know.
Right?
See,
they don't play
that's
with
when
it.
I was thinking, because I was like, oh, maybe she might have something.
Atopic pregnancy, maybe, or something.
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking like that. But I'm like, well, okay. If she's doing a P test, it's 6 to 8 weeks, maybe month, maybe 2 to 3. I'm gonna go up to 2 months.
Very thin too.
Yeah, it's very thin. Again, everybody's different, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that was weird to me.
Yeah, she was having stomach pains throughout the movie. Like, ooh, like I was like, oh, what's going on there? Like, what's that?
See,
they don't explore it though.
Yeah, they don't.
No.
And then I thought she was gonna lose the baby because of that. Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a scene that you see her. There's like blood, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Or the demon was gonna be like, "Your baby's already dead" or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking.
Yeah, and it would have been cool, like honestly, if they would have made the dad dead instead of like disappearing.
I agree.
Because that way is another layer of torment because the mother's gone. It's like, oh, you're the maggots. Your mother. He's like, mommy's with the maggots now. Like that thing. It's like your dad is here too. And they're burning in hell. Like something like that would have been like, oh damn, this demon is really going ham, like tormenting these kids. But it never really goes there. It's just like the moral of the story.
Back to the men thing too.
The moral of the story is leave your family, pay your child support, and you'll be safe.
Back to the men thing too.
kids
It's
are
like
dumb.
they don't even go. We don't even know who the dad is.
No, we don't even know. We see one little picture of him in like a corner. But what was weird about that is that so we get the dad left them, right?
Yeah.
And then we get pictures of the dad. Typical man.
Yeah, just abandoned their family.
At least he wasn't black. But then, because
we don't know.
No, we do because we see a picture of him. We do. We have a picture of him, and the thing is, you see pictures. There's still pictures of the dad in the house.
So it's fresh.
Right, so it's fresh. But at the end of the movie, where they try to make you feel bad for this family that didn't care about each other at all in the first place, they show a portrait of the family. But in that picture, the dad's not there. It's only the 3 kids and the mom. Like in a
on
picture.
a roller coaster. Yeah.
On the roller coaster. But the dad's not there. But the dad's in pictures in the house. So if it's still fresh and the dad just left, wouldn't the dad be in the picture too? They don't love their
maybe
dad
the dad
anymore,
doesn't like roller coasters.
Yeah, we don't get any of that.
Maybe he's a big guy. Oh well,
no, he was regular size. He was
a
regular size. We seen him.
guy
We seen him. We seen a small guy.
Isn't it interesting that dads always have beards, like portrayed in movies?
They had tried to hide the double chin. That's why. Yeah, but it's a weird situation
So
where
random.
it felt like it felt like they were like, I'm not political. I don't want to get political on this, but it felt like they were trying to like diminish the value of men in this film. Like it felt like they were like the men were either inept, they were guided by something that was false, they were weak, they were sloppy, or they were non-existent.
Yeah, because look at the tenants.
The tenants.
They were useless.
Useless.
And all
they
the
died
men.
off screen.
All the men died in the movie. The brother, I would say he died too.
He did die, yeah.
Yeah, because he became a deadite.
He became a deadite.
But yeah,
he was in the wood chipper. And then the priest is the one that's reading the kanda.
Yeah.
Right? He's reading all the words. Like, that's another male figure that it's either shown in a negative light, a non-existent light, or an inept light.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, what are they trying to say with this
And
movie?
they're trying
Why
to
did you
say,
do
and pretty
that?
much the priest is like, oh, he was trying to do something good, but he's an
Right.
idiot. And he's
Right.
I was wrong. I'm like, oh, here we go.
So the brother, let's recap. The brother is the one that brought the records in and got his mother killed. Like, you should have more guilt. You killed your mom, by the way.
and then also
yeah.
he knew it's because of this fucking book.
Right.
It doesn't bring it up at all.
No.
The sister's the one that's like, it's because of the book. He's like, shut up, no.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
what do
yeah,
you mean,
yeah.
shut up, no?
Yeah, and
Read
then
that
later
shit, motherfucker.
with this, he's like, yeah, I guess it was my fault. Yeah, you killed your mother.
Yeah.
You should probably care a little bit more. So he's an idiot.
The priest.
You got the priest that says the words. You got the Spanish, the 3 Spanish guys.
Yeah,
Who are the 2 are just idiots. The 2 kids are just dumb, sloppy
They're
idiots.
just there. Yeah.
One guy is a religious guy, but can't protect his family. He's just
He's the one that gets his eye
He gets his
eaten out.
eye eaten out and his neck ripped out.
Yeah.
And then the other war veteran guy, maybe racist. He probably is racist. But like he
He
seems like a
gave
war
off
veteran.
those vibes.
Yeah, has the shotgun, shoots her one time, and just looking around. Then he gets killed off screen. And then the dad, who gets off scot-free, is somewhere starting a new family, just left his kids, left his
Yeah.
family, but is paying child support. Like, they made it a point not to make any male character in this film, like, likable or, like, good in any way.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Because the whole child support scene, that whole comment, I'm just like, okay, listen, just go with the story that he left.
died.
You get specific in that, but you don't get
Or
specific
don't even mention
in,
it.
in the whole, how the fuck did you get here? Did you
Right.
just quit your job as a guitar technician? Did
Yeah.
you do anything? There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered,
A lot
but
of
you
questions.
answer weird ones.
And also the sister who gets pregnant from out of wedlock with
Yeah.
a guy we don't know, she just had random sex with some
Yeah.
guy that got her pregnant, and he's gone too. Like, it's like they made it a point to be like, we're going to we're just like forget these people.
they're
There's
trying
an
to be like,
underlining
there's
theme.
underlining agenda.
Yeah, agenda. It feels
know what
that
I mean?
way. It feels that way. And
Again, we may be wrong, but
I-
this is
it-
what we feel.
I like to enjoy the films as they are. I don't like this whole woke, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. But it feels like that's what they're doing.
And see, here's the thing: it's not that we're like, oh, we're now about the woke agenda. Or anything
No,
like that.
of course
we want to
not.
watch a movie.
I just wanna watch a
Listen,
movie. It's
a
good.
movie is meant for an escape that we could get out of our lives for at least two and a half hours,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then, but when you're like trying to like say certain kind of things, you're just like, okay, I see.
Yeah,
what's
I see
going
what
on
you're
here.
saying. Like, why did you have to go to that route? Why
Yeah,
does it have
I'm
to
just
be
trying to
that
watch
type
a
of thing?
horror movie.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
didn't have
like-
to have those types of things
And
in
then
it.
if it has to do with the story, okay,
Yeah,
I'm for
right.
it.
And it feels
I
like it's just
understand.
added for no reason.
Yeah, it's an Evil Dead movie.
It's an Evil Dead movie.
Like, come
yeah.
on.
Come on.
You know.
Just a dog outside.
Yeah, I heard a dog
Do you hear
too. I was
that dog? Well, on that note, that was our Evil Dead. Any other thoughts or things you want to bring about Evil Dead?
The positive thing I will say about the movie is that I talked about it before. I like the idea of the 3 different kind of books.
Okay, yeah.
And then the priest, I feel that there's gonna be a spin-off to this.
Yeah.
To the whole, or the priest, what happened?
What happened
Because
there?
he went
like
against
some
the church.
backstory.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
And I think
that
that's
would be a
pretty
more
cool.
interesting movie in my
Oh,
opinion.
hell yeah, that'd be kind of like a nun kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But
I like the sound design too.
yeah, the sound design was great.
The acting of our girl.
Yeah. Oh, she's
amazing.
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, like I
She
will say,
deserves a better movie.
I will say she carried the movie. the best that she could.
Yeah. Some of the gore set pieces are okay, like when they use practical effects.
Yeah.
But when they go CGI, it looks like garbage.
Yeah, it's a lot of pullbacks in the gore.
A lot of pullback.
And you know, that whole scene with the filling up of the
the filling
and then
of the blood,
it fell
and then
because they hit a weight limit.
Yeah, it hit a weight limit. Like
I was like, come on,
That's
man. That's the dumbest.
That's the dumbest thing ever. And then the homage to The Shining.
Yeah, and I'm just like it's like because of a weight limit that I'm like,
what would you give this score again? I know we said it in our main reaction.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay,
and I'm going to give it you gave it a
4.3. I think 4.3 is good.
Or 4.5.
It's closer to 4 than 5. I just can't accept, like, this is the one piece of material in all of the Evil Dead series, from movies to video games to everything, that I think misses the mark.
Real quick, on all the Evil Dead movies, where would this be placed?
Last one.
Yeah.
It's the worst
my
one.
list would be Evil Dead 2, 1, the Evil Dead remake, Army of Darkness, and then Evil Dead Rise.
I couldn't agree with you
That
more.
would be
That's
my-
what I
that
put.
would be my list.
That's my list too. I honestly, that's exactly how I would put it.
That's why I would put it.
It's the worst Evil Dead property. It's
I
not
remember you
the
said
worst
that
film.
in the movie, and people were looking at you like,
Yeah, they were looking at
what
me
did you
like-
say?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's the worst Evil Dead.
They're like, oh, what about Army of Darkness, huh?
Yeah,
Like, we're like,
yeah. I
what?
was like, it's worse than Army of Darkness. It's bad. Like this is not a good movie.
a lot
like,
of people don't like Army of Darkness.
I know.
But because it's just like, I guess it's like a
kinda more
comedy.
goofy, yeah, it's more
but so
goofy.
what?
Yeah, but it's like I know that I may come across as like a horror movie snob. I get that. You know, my idea of horror, what I like, is a little bit different than what the mainstream audiences would like. I mean, I guess mainstream audience would like this, and they have been liking this. I just think that with the movies that we were already presented, like, you already gave me filet mignon with caviar and lobster, and then now you're giving me chuck
back
steak
at meat and
burgers.
potatoes.
Yeah, meat and potatoes. You're giving me chuck steak burgers now, and I'm like, no. Hold up. You already gave me the caviar, lobster, and you gave me prime rib, or you gave me filet mignon. I'm not going back to chuck steak burgers. This is not what you're accustomed to.
Yeah.
If I wanted chuck steak burgers, I would go over to Eli Roth's house and I'd get chuck steak burgers. He makes the best chuck steak burgers. He makes the schlocky stuff. You're supposed to be making the really good, robust horror that we all love. Best horror movies of all time. And you put out this? Nah.
Compared to the original,
Right.
to the
You
remake,
have to
I'm like,
compare
come
it to
on.
the other movies because that's the predecessor. You're part of the lineage. That's why you're judged so harshly. Now, if this was a movie that didn't have the Evil Dead name attached to it and it was a complete original IP, sure.
Even
you
if
get
it was a
pass.
spin-off, I would be like, all right.
Right.
But
you are
no,
in
no.
the lineage of it.
It says Evil Dead Rise.
But even if say it wasn't Evil Dead, say it was called the Monsters from the Dead, right? You'd be
Yeah.
like, wow, and it came directly to Shudder, which does feel like this feels like a Shudder original, honestly. And then it goes to Shudder.
Hey, Shudder.
Hey, Shudder.
We're talking about you, bro.
It feels like a Shudder original or like a Hulu original, and it feels like what it feels like is that new Hellraiser remake on Hulu. That's what this movie feels like. So if you're gonna do that and call it something else, listen, I'm all for it. I'm not gonna judge you harshly. I'm gonna be like, wow, that was okay. That was a worthy effort. Very derivative of Evil Dead, but not too bad. But you are part of that lineage, so there is a certain expectation you have to live to, and it didn't do it.
Yeah.
But those are our thoughts. That's our thoughts about Evil Dead Rise.
Let us know what you think in the comments. If you think we're how
think
about
we're
this?
being unfair?
Give us your list. Like, what would you rank all the Evil Dead movies? Just give us your list on that.
Yeah.
Let us know what part of the movie that you thought was really gory and scary. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Yeah, let us know in the comments below.
Do you heard about the cows too with the anus thing too?
Yeah, did you? Go check it out.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah. And if
Do
you
you
like,
really think Dan Aykroyd got abducted by aliens?
I think so. But if you,
I don't know who's gonna be on the cover of this thumbnail.
Dan Aykroyd, like no.
Oh my
But
God.
Evil Dead Rise, not a great film. But if you like this video, share this video, hit the like button, follow us, and subscribe for more unadulterated horror movie reviews, news, and analysis. And join us because we love talking horror movies, and we hope you do too.
And we love you guys
We do.
and girls.
Terror Talk out.
We love you all.